Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. Let's talk about 5 military/veteran benefits that you've earned that you probably aren't even aware of exist and when you can use them. Now, look, I get it. Many of you who watch these videos, you're pretty much at the top end of education and knowledge and understand what's out there. However, there's a whole big group of us out there that are not aware of what is actually available. Most veterans, if you ask a veteran, remember, 70% are not even utilizing the VA for disability compensation. So in your own mind, back up from even applying for disability compensation and think about where you were. What did you know existed, right? Maybe they're going to say home loan, education, through GI Bill, and disability compensation, maybe healthcare, right? And that's about it. And you weren't really quite sure exactly how it all worked, right? You knew you could get a home loan. You knew you could go to school with your GI Bill. Disability compensation, maybe you understood the compensation aspect of it. Maybe you understood that you could be seen at the VA for your service-connected disabilities, but maybe you thought that it was only injuries that were caused by your time in service. So we didn't have a lot to work with. There are obviously many more things outside of that realm as far as benefits are concerned that many of us leave on the table and are not aware of. So what we're trying to do here collectively is eliminate the I wish I would have knowns for everybody else. So with that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. You can do that by going to the homepage. You'll see the highlighted members and a join button. Thank you so much to all you members. I do my best to get back to you in the comments. All right. So the headline here, again, is 5 military benefits that vets might not know they've earned. Veterans could qualify for military benefits to help them with all kinds of things, from housing and transportation, clothing, education, employment, and more. Jumping into this, I'm going to kind of skip down a little bit beyond the kind of the overview of this and just jump into this part. So, in a 2022 survey, more than 1,000 veterans conducted by ALSA Veterans Disability Appeals Service, 48% of veterans indicated that they do not currently understand their disability benefit options, and 4 in 10 disagreed they received adequate benefit guidance when leaving the military, even as that same number of veterans struggle with service-connected disabilities. All right, so all true stuff. Here's 5, right? So we're going to jump into the number one. This is high-level overview, not a deep down, how to qualify fully and eligibility requirements. There's a lot of nuance and all this stuff, but the first piece is to just even know that things exist. Then you can work with an accredited rep, you could do research, you could look into it a little more to see if it's something that you qualify for. And again, this could be something that you need today, or you might need in 10 years, right? You just never, or grandma or grandpa might need it, right? So there's a bunch of different situations. So let's move on. Number 1, adaptive housing grants and loan assistance. Depending on the nature and severity of a veteran's service-connected condition or conditions, they could qualify for assistance in purchasing a home that accommodates their disability or for updating their current home to better meet their needs, like a remodel, right? Making a hallway wider to get a wheelchair through it, or changing out a bathroom because there's no bathtub, right? And so you can kind of get in and out or whatever, right? The Specially Adapted Housing Grant, SAH, there's actually multiple other versions of it. This is just one. Specially Adaptive Housing Grant is designed for veterans with certain disabilities to subsidize the cost of buying a home. Qualifying service-connected disabilities include the loss of use of a limb or other condition that affect the veteran's mobility. For fiscal 2023, veterans can receive, and so it's a little bit old, I should pull up the current information for you. Give me a second, and I will. All right, I'm back. So how much funding does the SAH grant offer? If you qualify for SAH grant, you can get up to $117,014 for fiscal 2024. This is the current total maximum amount allowed by SAH. The next one they're going to talk about, so I'm just going to hit it here while I'm on this page on the VA site, is SHA. SHA is the Special Home Adaptation Grant. And it is, I'll just read it for you. You may be eligible for this grant if you're using the grant money to buy, build, or change permanent home, a home you plan to live in for a long time, and you meet both of these. You have a family member, you or a family member own or will own the home, and you have a qualifying service-connected disability. Qualifying service-connected disabilities include the loss or loss of use of both hands, certain severe burns, certain respiratory or breathing injuries. How much funding does the SHA grant offer? If you qualify for it, you can get up to $23,444 for fiscal year 2024. All right, so it does talk about that here, and it also adds in there, this grant covers accommodations such as installing ramps, making bathrooms accessible, and widening doorways. All right. Number 2, the Automobile and Conveyance Equipment Grant. This is a great one as well. For former service members who struggle with a disability that prevents or impairs their ability to drive, the VA Automobile Allowance and Adaptive Equipment Grants. These grants function similar to the SHA and SAH grants for veterans' housing and can be used to help a veteran purchase a specially equipped vehicle or applied toward adaptive equipment to add safe and necessary accessibility features to their vehicle. These might include power steering, brakes, seats, windows, or lift equipment. These modifications can go a long way in helping veterans with disabilities live more independently. Do not go out and buy a car that has the things you need and then send the VA the bill. It's not how it works. Get approved for it first. Make sure that the dealership works with that, with the VA. Get them all on the same page, and then you can pull the trigger. All right, moving forward. Clothing allowance. This is about $1,000 per year for a single clothing allowance. Let's see what they talk about here. Some veterans have disabilities that require the use of a prosthetic or orthopedic equipment, such as a wheelchair, or even a skin condition that requires medicine, topical type medicine, right? Creams, that damages clothing. In these cases, the VA has an annual clothing allowance that gives veterans money each year to buy new clothes to replace their damaged items. Continually replacing clothing damaged by your prosthetic or skin condition can be frustrating and expensive. Applying for the annual clothing allowance gives veterans added help. You need to apply before August of each year in order for it to be paid out in September, October. So it's just the way they do it. So you file before August. I always just say, look, file by July, and then you should be good to go. All right, moving on. Number 4, educational benefits and employment readiness. Many veterans are aware of GI Bill benefits that help cover the cost of higher education after separating from the military. However, the VA also offers personalized education and career counseling to help veterans successfully transition out of their service. Educational counseling can help veterans find training program or a field of study. Career counseling is available for those who are eager to enter the workforce but need guidance navigating the civilian job market. The program provides continual support, including academic and adjustment counseling, to overcome barriers that might limit a veteran's academic success. In addition, for veterans who have a service-connected disability that limits their ability to work, the Veterans Readiness and Employment VRND program helps them explore employment options to pursue the necessary education and training to attend their desired career. I really like VRNE, Veterans Readiness and Employment. It can be a cumbersome process to get approved for it. If you get denied, apply again, right? Moving on, this is the last one, number 5. A lot of folks aren't aware of this one. Oh, and by the way, before we go to number 5, number 4, the Veterans Readiness and Employment. If you get accepted into the Veterans Readiness and Employment program, they will pay for whatever sort of training you need to get or education that you need to get to bridge the gap between where you are and where you need to be for employment. They'll pay for that, whether it's a training program or an educational route to get a bachelor's. They will pay for that for you and also pay you out a monthly stipend along the way. That stipend could be the standard subsistence allowance, or it could be a mirrored post 9/11 GI Bill amount up to about $3,300 per month, depending on if you have any post 9/11 GI Bill remaining. So that's a whole other thing. Just throwing it out there for folks so you're aware. All right. Number 5, temporary disability rating increases. This is huge if it's what I think they're going to talk about, which is most likely the case. We'll read through it and go from there. So even for veterans with disabilities who are expected to improve, many are temporarily unable to work as they undergo surgeries or hospitalization. In these cases, even if a veteran won't have a long-term disability rating, they can apply to get a temporary increase in their rating while they navigate their situation. If they are in the hospital for at least 21 days or immobilized following a surgery for at least a month, they can apply for temporary 100% disability rating. Yes. So you have a bad knee that's service connected. You have to get some sort of crazy operation. You can't walk around for 2 months until it fully heals, right? You can't be as active as you were. You could apply for temporary 100%. That increase will take you from whatever your rating is, let's say you're at 30%, and bump you to 100% while you go through the process, right? This will provide that additional monthly VA compensation and hopefully afford veterans the time to heal with a little extra money. For veterans who are managing a service-connected disability that is unstable because it hasn't yet been fully treated, applying for a pre-stabilization rating can provide temporary disability compensation and benefits until their situation stabilizes. This allows veterans to focus on what matters most, their health. For veterans with disabilities, VA benefits are designed to make their transition to civilian life as easy as possible, especially when navigating through complex programs with a medical condition. Many armed service members dedicated years of their young adult lives in the service to our nation and incur tragic or life-altering injuries. Healthcare service providers and veteran advocates and support organizations must make an effort to help veterans access the disability support services they need so they can continue to live life comfortable, meaningful, and fulfilling after they retire or exit the military. All right, so great news, great information. I like the temporary disability rating increase information. I always enjoy VRE, which is really a great program. Clothing allowance, often forgot about. You're not going to get rich off of it, but it does replace the clothing. That $1,000 a year can definitely help out. The automotive grant and the specially adapted housing grants and so forth are both great additions for those with more severe injuries and need some adjustments in their day-to-day life to live more comfortably. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.